Alright, progress on the 83 GPZ 1100. There's the wheel. It's all mounted. Got the shocks painted. Got the wheel painted. Brushed out. Cleaned up. Came out pretty good. So there's the metallic black. I painted the brakes and the shocks metallic black, because I think there's just too much gloss black, going on the bike. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is have this metallic black, and I'm thinking about repainting these metallic black, and then paint these back here metallic black, just to give it a little bit more detail, because there's too much gloss black going on, if you could picture that. So that's what I'm thinking. It's not a bad color there. Let me see if I can get it on there and show you the metallic. Looks really nice. So there's the front wheel all cleaned up, and that tape at the bottom is my weights. I have to set these weights. I just got them taped there for now. And you see how the wheel came out? Got the brand new Dunlop on there. Wheels all brushed up, painted. Got the rotors brushed, and they came out really nice. The rotors, I really thought that the rotors were painted, but they were just bare metal. So that's why I cleaned them up, and they came out really nice. And so there's the paint job. Wheels brushed. Wheel is not bad the way it looks. It's got a couple nicks here and there, but it's good. Then there is the metallic, and I went ahead and painted these things, and the little thing here and this thing here. This little red thing is not going to stay on the brake. I'm going to have to find another one of those little black ones like that. But there's the brakes. I didn't know what to do with them, so I just painted them the same color. I mean, originally they were all black, so there it is. So the tire was really hard to get on. That knocked me out trying to get that tire on. But I finally got it on, and even when I got it on, it was so tight on that rim that I had to put 100 PSI in it to get it to pop toward the bead, because it was hanging on the bead on the inside, the lower part of the rim. And even putting soap and water on it, it just wouldn't go. So I had to put 100 PSI in it for it to finally pop it toward the bead, and got it set in there. So got the brand new bearings in the front, got the brand new seals, got the shocks all dumped out and re-oiled. The fluid in there wasn't the best, so now it's got fresh fluid in the forks, and speedo cable's been oiled. I didn't put the fender on yet because I'm going to paint it anyway, so it didn't really need to be on right now anyway. Only thing I got to do to the front is set those weights. I got the tire balanced. That's where the weights go, but I haven't stuck them down yet. But that's where they're going to go. I just need to get them to fit in that rim better. And let's see what else. Then I can start working on the back. I'm going to get the back done. The back will probably be easier than the front as far as putting the tire on there and all the other stuff. I don't have to mess with all this. I also put some lube in the steering up here. I had to kind of drop the forks to get the steering thing, so I could put some grease in it, and that was a pain. I don't know what was worse, putting the tire on or getting that in there. I just wanted to put some grease since I had everything apart. And I remember doing a ZX11, and I don't remember it being this hard. And I think it's the reason these are kind of difficult to work on is, first, they got this air. I don't think the ZX11 had air, but these have air. Then it has this anti-dive, which is the brakes are all connected to it. So you gotta take this off, and this thing has O-rings on it. Get all this brake stuff out of the way, and then you can start messing with the shocks. Slip them out if you want to, and you got a cap nut up here. You got to remove that cap nut, and then there's another bolt underneath it where you got to use an extension, half drive extension. Get that broken loose, and that's tight as hell. And then you can go ahead and loosen these, and got to watch them O-rings right there. It's just a pain to mess with, but I just went ahead and changed the oil and got them all cleaned up. And then put the bearings on the wheels. That went in pretty smooth. And new seals on the wheels. And got the tire on there and brushed everything, cleaned it up really good. And if you look at the rotors came out really good. They brushed up and cleaned up pretty damn good. And that was just doing with some light sandpaper and some rust corrosion stuff. And there's the paint. So not bad. And you know, when I first painted that metallic, I was like, it's looking kind of brownish, you know, toward this other black over here. But I think it'll look good, you know. And the reason I wanted to do a different shade of black is because there's too much gloss black going on here. So I wanted to bring some kind of contrast or something into it. Just kind of picture it in your mind, you know, this being a metallic black, this being a metallic black, and these being a metallic black, and that metallic black, and then all this other stuff is, of course, going to be gloss black, and this is going to be the red. I'm going to use that cherry red that's Rust-Oleum for the base coat, paint it all red, and then I'm going to use a two-part base coat, you know, clear coat, and so it gets just to give it that heavy clear, you know, like a car clear coat. Give it a real nice heavy clear coat, so all that'll be that red, you know, so that'll look really nice. So it's coming out, and then I'm going to decide what I'm going to do with the headlight. That's the next thing I need to figure out. Of course, I still got to mess with the blinkers. I want to get LED blinkers set up on it, but I got to figure out what I'm going to do with the headlight. So if I'm going to put the fairing on there, I don't know if I'm still going to use the fairing. I haven't decided what I'm going to do, so I'm going to. And once I get to, you know, painting it, I'm not going to mess with the fairing yet. I'm just going to get this paint, get the tank painted. Of course, the wheels are already going to be painted, get the side covers painted, and that back piece painted. And then I'll think about, you know, what I'm going to do with the fairing, or if I'm going to just remove this headlight, leave it like that, or what I'm going to do. Of course, then mess with the blinkers and all that. Now, I'm probably going to do the blinkers first, and before I even paint it, because I still want to get it on the road and drive it a little bit. Still got a lot of gas in the gas tank. There's like a half tank in there. I want to burn that out, you know. So there's the front wheel. There's the metallic. Came out really nice. And I hope I can get that good on camera there. And just kind of show you this wheel. Looks really good. The rotor came out real nice and clean. And the wheel being just brushed looks pretty good with that red. So pretty nice, a lot better than it was. And so next I got to do the rear, and here's the rear bearings. There's the rear, and this is what it takes for the rear. There's two of these, and then you see that other big one in there, and then there's the seals. So got to put those in the rear. So once I get that out of the way, then of course I already got the chain on it. Got the brand new chain on it. Put that on. That's brand new chain. Still has that grease that it came with. And the bike, you know, right now it doesn't have any metallic overspray. That's just dust from it sitting in here. I did throw a tarp thing over it so it didn't get any overspray on it when I was painting the forks. So it is just kind of dusty, but there's the new chain. So I'm going to take this wheel off next and clean that rotor, the brakes and all that. And that wheel's going to be painted. Brand new tire on that. So I'm thinking, you know, that would look pretty good with the metallic black here, metallic black there, and the metallic black here on this little piece of metal here. This side, see the side cover goes like that. So this kind of a different, you know, instead of gloss black, have a metallic black. And of course the front forks, metallic black. I think it came out really good. So there's the front. The front's all done so far. Just got to mount those little weights there. Put the fender on if I need to. I really don't need to put the fender on. I mean, it can stay off for now. But I didn't know what to do with the brakes, so I just scuffed them and sanded them, and I think that looks better than it did. I went ahead and painted these little fittings here. They were just so corrosion, and you know, everything was just so messed up that if later I can find new hoses or something like that, you know, you can always change that stuff. But I just wanted to get it all looking, you know, good. So that's what I have to work with. So, you know, there it is. If I had the money to buy all this new stuff, you know, and really throw a lot of money at it, yeah, I could make it look a lot better. But I don't, I just want to get it, you know, looking as good as I can with what I got. So that's that. So it came out pretty good as far as this front wheel. Look at that. Brand new Dunlop, red paint, nice clean rotors. And if you remember what it looked like before, this is a hell of an improvement. So there's the rest of the bike. It's coming out real nice, and the seat's laying over there, so I was just cleaning some more stuff in here and getting things more clean. You know, there's always some cleaning on it. It's a lot of cleaning gotta do. And you know, it just needs some more detail down here. Probably get a different spring, you know, that's, or I don't know. It just seems like it's got too much black going on. That's why I was thinking maybe I get a different shade of black. Metallic there, metallic there, metallic there. And then have some metallic on the front forks. So there that is. I think it came out pretty nice. And I got the wheel balanced. That's the wheel weights. They need to be pressed right there with that stickum stuff. I just got to fit them in there. They're a little bit too big, so I got to make sure they fit in this little ledge right here. But that's where they need to go, right here where this tape is. So I just got to do that. But it's looking pretty good. So now I'm going to do the back, and then we're going to move on to other stuff. Once the tires are all on and out of the way, I can probably move on to messing with the blinkers. I want to put some LED blinkers on it, and then decide what I'm going to do with this headlight. If I can get another headlight mounted on it, and make it, you know, without them, just use it with, you know, mount another headlight so I don't have to mess with the fairing. Or what am I going to do with the fairing? Am I going to fix the fairing? I don't know. My friends are saying leave the fairing off, make it a Street Fighter. I was, you know, originally thinking I could just fix that fairing and have it painted, but we'll see. So other than the other stuff, oh yeah, I still got to put this back. I haven't put this back on. That's getting, let's see, I still got to tighten this bolt here and then put this back on. And really that's all I have to do to and then put those little weights, and then the front end is pretty much done. And then I can take it out for a ride and just drive it a little bit more. Of course, I'm going to paint this flat black. Got to clean that up. Paint, touch that up, flat black. I don't know what I'm going to do with the horns yet. Probably just leave them. I don't know. But there's the front wheel. Man, that thing came out nice. It really came out nice. A lot better than it was looking, let me tell you. So I guess I'm going to wrap this up here. That was the progress on the 83 GPZ 1100. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm out.